Hello and welcome to the Reflect project. Today we're going to tell you a little bit about faculty peer observation at the University of Portland, tied to our work at our STEM Center. I'm Dr. Heather Dillon from the School of Engineering.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Salamone, and I'm chair of the Math Department and director of the STEM Education and Outreach Center at the University of Portland. I also serve as the PI on an NSF-funded project called Reflect, Redesigning Education for Learning Through Evidence and Collaborative Teaching. Today we're going to tell you about our project, which includes peer observation for formative assessment of teaching. The goals of the project are to increase awareness and interest in use in evidence-based pedagogical practices in STEM, particularly in engineering, and to create a culture of reflective teaching via faculty peer observation and mentoring. My colleagues and I will talk about the methods that we use and the framework around which we've built our program. If you have questions or want to follow up with us later, we can be found online at reflectup.org.
The Reflect project has several goals. The first is to increase awareness and interest in evidence-based instructional practices, referred to as EBIPs affectionately. We're also attempting to create a culture of reflective teaching via faculty peer observation and mentoring. We structured our project around principles of change. And if you read about the literature on change, the cacao model is the one that we've adopted for this project. Using this change model, we're attempting to help our faculty step through different facets of the change process, moving from awareness to curiosity, then tryout and adoption. As our faculty move through this spectrum, finally to adoption, this is where the most benefit to the students actually occurs. In this context, we have lots of undergraduate students at the University of Portland that are impacted. But of course, the next step in our project is to roll this out at regional universities, helping their faculty step through the process of change to impact even more students in the Northwest. Henderson, Beach, and Finkelstein provided a framework for institutional change theory and how it might be useful to approach this. In this theory, they proposed 4 quadrants based on different axes: individuals versus structures and environments, and then prescriptive versus emergent techniques. And we've designed our program to impact all 4 quadrants. The first structure is the Reflect Institute. This is a training institute that our faculty participants experience in the summer, and it's both prescriptive and emergent. We've designed it to span that, and to also build a really strong cohort. The cohorts then participate in peer observation over the course of the semester and the whole academic year, trading back and forth. This allows them to practice and support one another in the different evidence-based instructional practices. We also provide a training on best practices for peer observation so that they're trained observers. And then we have a very informal teaching lunch called the Joy of Teaching, where we have less structured but very fun discussions about the project. There are many reasons we focused on peer observation as one of the core structures for our effort at the University of Portland. I think the quote here says it well, but I think there's a few other pieces here. The biggest is it offers an alternative to student evaluations, which can be quite biased. And it also helps with building connections between different faculty members. This idea of self-reflection, self-assessment, and a very formative method. Before developing the Reflect peer observation protocol, we did a literature search to understand and review other protocols we had used. There are several features of our protocol that are traditional, including a pre-observation meeting and a post-observation meeting. But many of the things in the middle are unique. We have set up our observation protocol to focus on specific dimensions of instruction, where faculty can really focus in on the thing that they might be working on or most concerned about in their classroom. We also have a self-assessment. This is intended to be the reflective part, help a faculty member with reflection. We have exit cards or minute papers for the students to fill out, giving another dimension of feedback to the faculty member. And of course, we have the summary from the observer. So these are the features of our observation protocol that are unique. Because the observation protocol has all of these features, they're getting feedback and data from lots of sources. Obviously, the observers being sort of the key piece of that, but also self-assessment and self-reflection. So these two are very focused on the reflection element. Student exit cards or minute papers, this still gives the students a little bit of a voice in the process. And of course, watching new techniques. By watching another faculty member attempt something different in their classroom, it gets people focused on new evidence-based practices that they may not have seen before.
Thank you for listening to our presentation on the Reflect program at the University of Portland. If you have questions or would like to follow up with us, we can be found online at reflectup.org. Thank you again.